and especially welcome to Kristopher and your supporting cast. They say that life is a journey, and I think what you are doing at your young age really underlines that fact. You're very brave and courageous for what you're doing, and I know that on behalf of everyone here and our Catholic school board throughout it, we want to wish you all the best as you continue on this journey, and our prayers are with you. Thank you.
Another important individual in Timmins who's always involved with things like organ transplants and donations, Mr. Fern Tremblay. You often see him in the newspaper for things like Easter seals or whatever, and he's been gracious enough to join us today. So I would call upon Mr. Tremblay to come and speak on behalf of the Timmins chapter.
I'd like to thank your Gorman School and all the organizations to give us the opportunity to be able to talk to you about tissue and organ transplant. What got me started with tissue and organ transplant is what was with my involvement with the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, where we know that a lot of people were waiting for tissues for cornea transplant. And I'll tell you a little story about a grandmother that was able to receive a tissue cornea transplant, and for the first time after her operation was a success, she said it was the first time that she was able to see her children. So you can just imagine, you know, with somebody's passing away, they were able to give their eyes, and somebody gained sight by it. And therefore, organ transplant is very important too. And like we all hear in the Bible that Jesus said that there's no greater gift than to give his life for a friend. But tissue or organ donation, you don't necessarily have to give your life. But at death, you can definitely leave your organs or tissue with somebody that can benefit from it. And this is what Kris'S is waiting for. And when we say they're waiting for, some people will, somebody will have to die to give them a liver. Yes, and it's unfortunate that some people do die by accident, but what a better legacy to leave behind you is part of your living organs with somebody else. So we'll definitely hear more about it through George and Chris after. And I signed my card in 1966. And this is one way of telling people that I am a tissue and organ donation. So if you people are interested in getting kits after, I have some with me. And this way here, my wife has already agreed that when I pass on, that my organs will go to a cop. I hope they're still good. Because at our age, you know, but no, it's true. For eyes, there's no age limit. And I'll tell you the truth. Lots of time, it's me that pick up the eyes at the airport to bring them, at the hospital to bring them to the airport, and I have to make arrangements with the Canadian National Institute for the Blind for them to make arrangements to get somebody out there who are waiting for cornea transplant. And therefore, it doesn't matter what time of the day or night, they call me and I pick them up. And then the pilot has 2 sets of eyes to take a...
Organizing a 200-city walking tour takes a lot of work, and of course you notice that Chris was fortunate enough to have a bit of an entourage with him, like his posse, I guess it is, Chris? I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to call forward Mr. Biliary Atresia, who we'll speak to. He's the assistant road manager for Chris. Billy?
Thank you, everybody, for having us in Timmins. It's a beautiful part of Canada. I've never been here before, and it's really great. I met George about 7 years ago, and I started playing baseball with George and volleyball, and that was in '95. And I had been with him for a few months, and he had a lot of energy. And then I had a few of our buddies tell me, Billy, isn't it? It's fantastic the way he plays. I said, what are you talking about? He said, he's just had a new liver about 3 months ago. I said, a new liver? I said, you gotta be kidding. Then when I talked to George, he told me he had 2 days to live. And he received the liver. And since I've been with George, he's asked me if I'd like to be assistant road manager for a little guy named Chris. 13 years old. He's been in and out of the hospital most of his life, and he's had over 20 operations. And when I met Kris, I couldn't believe it. I was expecting to see somebody who was really sick, right? But obviously, when something like this happens to people, they're given something special. And Kris, when I met him, he was a bright, cheery young guy, and I couldn't believe that this guy was waiting for a liver. But when I talked to Kris, his wish is to try to save as many people as he can on the waiting list. And there's like over 4,000 men and women on the waiting list waiting for organs to have a chance to live. We have an opportunity to go through a hospital. I forget where we go. In Sudbury. Went through the hospital in Sudbury, and we see little kids, and you know what? They had a good spirit about them. You wouldn't know they were sick, but a few of them did look yellow. You know, they were on a waiting list, waiting for livers. And we went through there, and you know what? When I met Kris, it grabbed my heart. When I seen these kids, and I didn't know what to expect when we came on this walk, but some of the people that I have met that have received organs because of this, because of the transplant, you know what? It makes it all worthwhile. And that's what we're trying to do here on this tour, is to raise awareness, just to educate people that, you know what, there is a way that people's lives can be saved. So it's overwhelming, and it's very rewarding, because myself, when I've heard of you know, transplants, this, that, but it never really sank in until I started being around it all the time and seeing, of course, the sorrow, like the gentleman was saying, when people die, but out of that death can come happiness for other people. And I have met some of the people that have received, have a chance at life, to live, to experience, to enjoy, to cry, everything like that. But we take it for granted. But to be able to be part of something that is greater than I could ever do in my life is surely a blessing. So that's what we're trying to do, is raise awareness to let people know that, you know what, there is a way to save lives and to give a gift of life. So I'm very honored to be on this campaign, and I hope, I say to myself, is this worth it? I mean, do I see anybody? Yes, I have seen people, lives have been saved because of it, but there is still over 4,000 men, women, and children on that waiting list waiting to be saved, and I hope, I might not see, I've seen what it has done, but I hope it spreads a lot more, and I'm very grateful to be part of carrying this message. So thanks for having us in Timmins. Thank you very much.
First, I'd like to thank my road crew. On my right, Assistant Road Manager Biliary Atresia. Behind me, Road Manager George Marcello. And Dad's trying to hide on me. My dad / driver Kelly Knowles. Documentary crew who's making a movie on my trip. Merle Roberts. And my mom, Sandy Knowles. Hi, my name is Kristopher Knowles. I am 13 years old. I've been waiting for a liver my whole life. The disease that caused me needing a liver is called Biliary Atresia. It is a common disease among infants. Most infants die shortly after birth. So far, I've been fortunate enough to still be alive. I've been in and out of the hospital most of my life. I've had over 20 operations that saved my life. I'm doing this walk to bring awareness to the shortage of organ and tissue needed.